Today this is not a walk in the park. Today it is this. It is Sunday and I have a list of things we have to do with you today. This flat needs a proper clean and I have been putting it off for 1 week too long. I live with my husband and 2 dogs, which, if you're curious, means the flat gets messy faster than you'd think. 2 dogs means fur everywhere. Always. But that's a whole other story. Actually, no. We'll get to that later. So you're coming with me. We've got an open plan kitchen and living room, a bathroom and a separate toilet. And as we go, I'm going to walk you through what I'm doing, what I'm using, and what native speakers actually say when doing the housework. So welcome back to my slow English vlog. I'm Tanya and you're watching English with Speaker. Well, nobody teaches you this stuff and you absolutely need this. And we are starting with the kitchen. The kitchen. We are going to tackle it fast because, let's be honest, a kitchen is one of those rooms that gets on top of you fastest. First things first, I'm going to clean the worktops. In British English, these flat surfaces are called worktops. In American English, they are called countertops. Same thing. Right, the washing. We do actually have a dishwasher, but it's broken at the moment, and it has been for a while. So we are back to doing it by hand, which honestly is not the end of the world. So washing up liquid, a cloth, 2 sponges. This one is for the dogs and this one is for the plates and spoons and pans that we use. And we also have this horrible body. This is a steel wool pad. It's perfect for pans, but bad for non-stick. So don't make that mistake. Once everything is washed, it goes on the dry rack or draining rack, which we keep on a kitchen mat next to the sink. So the water drains on the mat rather than all over the worktop. And the kettle. Oh, the kettle. If you live in Budapest, you know that the water here is incredibly hard, which means lime scale inside the kettle builds up frighteningly fast. And I have to clean it once a week, minimum. It's a nightmare. So I use a descaling powder. You fill up the kettle, approximately this much, half a liter. Add the powder. Then boil it. Leave it to soak. Then rinse it out thoroughly. And the hob. This is the one I always leave until last and then regret. Grease everywhere. So we will need the sponge, the rough side of it, washing up liquid, and rubber gloves, because this one is not hand-friendly. I think I should be a painter. And now let's scrub it. Oof. Elbow grease. I'm going to leave it for a while and just work my way around it. Okay, now that the kitchen is pristine, we are moving on to the bathroom. So we actually have 2 separate bathrooms. Here in the bathroom, we have a bath, a washing machine, a sink, a mirror, and this shelving unit where everything lives. And then there's a separate toilet room next door. And before anything else, rubber gloves on. It's non-negotiable. Anything involving domestics, bath, toilet, gloves. No exceptions. And let's start with the bathroom. Now the bath. Let's open a shower curtain, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Our bath takes a beating because we have 2 dogs and we wash them after every walk. After a morning walk or an evening walk, both our dogs go inside and have to have their paws and other parts washed. So there's always a ring around the bath and fur. So I use this thick bleach-based cleaner and just pour it all over the bath and let it sit for a while. But of course, there are different things you can use. Some people may use heavy-duty spray. I prefer these liquidy things. Now it's time to rub it a little bit. Now it's time to rinse it off and deal with the lime scale that I have on the tap. For lime scale in the bathroom, I'm using my heavy-duty spray. And we'll leave it. For the sink, I'm using the same liquid. But now I just put it on my sponge and clean it. To be honest, I use the same bleach-based liquid for the bathroom, the sinks, and the toilet. And again, you can see lime scale. Okay, just scrub it. And then rinse. For the mirror, I have a completely different approach. And for this, we will need a cloth and paper towels. So I just wipe it with a damp cloth first, then go over it with a paper towel to get it streak-free. And that's it. Easy and simple. The only issue, and I say this as someone who is 1 meter and 60 centimeters tall, is that I always have to go up my tiptoes to reach the top of the mirror. It has never occurred to me to get a step. I just carry on my tiptoes and hope for the best. And then there's the shelving unit, which I'll diplomatically describe as organized chaos. Everything has its place. I just can't always remember where that place is. Now the separate toilet, which is honestly is a very civilized arrangement. In here we have the toilet, flush button, the sink, towel. Then we have a toilet paper stand with toilet paper rolls, a toilet brush, and an air freshener, obviously. Even 2, but it's broken. Same product as in the bathroom. You squirt it under the rim, then give it a scrub. Give it a scrub with a toilet brush. Rinse it off with a flush. Now I will go over the sink and I'll spare you the details beyond that. Moving on. We are back to the same room but different end. There is the kitchen and my husband is about to cook us dinner and we are going to clean this part. And this one is more about tidying up than deep cleaning. You know, like straightening things out, probably dusting, and of course, hoovering. Right. Well, before I hoover, I always dust fast, because if you hoover fast and then dust, the dust just falls on the floor you just cleaned. Rookie mistake. For dusting, I use these anti-static wipes I found in DM. DM is a drugstore chain here in Budapest. They look just like regular wet wipes. You know the kind you normally use on your hands, but they are designed for surfaces and they have this anti-static effect. So the dust actually sticks to the wipe instead of just flying around and then landing somewhere. Game changer, honestly. And then there's this, my absolute favorite recent purchase. It's a dog hair removal glove, basically pet hair. You can use it if you have cats, and you put the glove on your hand and just run over a sofa, a bed, armchairs, and dog hair just rolls up into little clumps like these. Little clumps you can pick off. Which, when you live with 2 dogs, is not a small thing. Look at how clean this sofa is now. Okay, I found one more hair. To be honest, I'm not going to hoover tonight, but let's talk about it for a minute there. In British English, people say, I'm going to hoover the floor the same way as Americans say, I'm going to vacuum. Hoover is a brand name that became the verb, the same way as Google did when you say, I don't know this, maybe I should Google it. I should mention we also have a robot hoover. It runs every day, which, if you have 2 dogs and an impressive amount of fur, is absolutely necessary. But the robot hoover can only do so much. It doesn't get into the corners, it cannot clean the sofa when it needs a deep cleaning, so the proper hoover still earns its place. While I'm full of energy, I'm going to throw a load of washing on. So, let me walk you through what I actually use. First, you have washing powder, which I honestly don't have. I prefer washing liquid. Same job, just different form. I prefer liquid because it dissolves better in low temperature washes, and washing at lower temperatures is better for your clothes and for the environment. And then fabric softener or fabric conditioner. Both are equally used in British English. I don't like the smell in the cup, but after the wash, it's amazing. So you add it to the drawer of the washing machine. These are these little compartments. In some washing machines, you have to pull them out at the front. Ours has 4 sections, 2 for the detergent and for the washing liquid, and 2 for the softener. It's simple once you figure it out, which is which. Now, to do the laundry is the general expression for washing your clothes. To hang the washing out means to put your wet clothes on a drying rack or maybe a washing line after washing. And if you're hanging them outside, you peg them out. When you sort your laundry, you keep your white clothes separate from your colored ones so that colors don't run. Right, done. Kitchen sorted, bathroom sorted, living area sorted. There is something deeply satisfying about a clean flat. It's hard to explain until you experience it. Like everything is back in its place and you can finally sit down without guilt. This is what I call a productive Sunday. And then one of the dogs walks in, shake themselves off onto the sofa you just cleaned. Such is life. We wouldn't have it any other way. Right. Homework. As always, pick 3 expressions from today that you want to add to your vocabulary. Make 3 sentences about your flat, your maybe room, your cleaning, and write them down in the comments. I read every single one, and honestly, it is the best part of the day. I hope that you enjoyed this video and this lesson. If you did, give it a like, share it with a friend or a family member, and subscribe if you haven't done that yet. And you can also from now on hype my video so that more people can see it. Thank you for being here with me today. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!